Hey, if you're thinking about moving to the Fort Lauderdale area, one of the most confusing things at first is just understanding where everything is in the city. So what I'm gonna do here in this video is share my screen here on my computer and give you a general map tour overview of where things are in Fort Lauderdale and what you need to know before you make the move. Let's get into it. Okay, so fair warning, this video is gonna be a little bit more beginner friendly. Probably for those of you who have either never been in Fort Lauderdale at all, or those of you who have visited maybe a time or two and are trying to get a little bit better lay of the land. So the first thing I wanna do is I actually wanna zoom out a little bit and show you Southeast Florida as a whole. And what you'll notice right off the bat is that we are squeezed in between this green space right here, which is the Florida Everglades, and the ocean, which actually is what allows us to be in this insulated real estate market. If I was to zoom way out and go over here to Texas, for example, as you can see, it's a lot bigger space. This is where I was from originally, by the way, but there's a lot of demand to be in Texas just as there is over in Southeast Florida, but there's a lot more supply. There's a lot more room to build. We don't necessarily have that over here in Southeast Florida. So that's a nice little fun fact to start us off. But let's dive into Southeast Florida specifically. So we've got Miami up to West Palm Beach. I do work in all three of these counties, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County, but I have a focus on Fort Lauderdale. So let's zoom into Fort Lauderdale here and show you around a little bit. The first thing I want to talk about is this west and east of I-95 split. So this is one of the major spines that runs through the area. And it is what you're likely going to be using if you commute north to Pompano, Boca, West Palm Beach for work, or if you go south to Miami, you're more than likely going to be using I-95. But the reason I bring it up is because the majority of Fort Lauderdale proper is east of I-95, with the exception of a few neighborhoods. But at the same time, that is where a lot of people are wanting to be, is east of I-95. And matter of fact, I have a couple of tabs open right now to kind of show you price-wise what you can get the closer to the ocean you get, the further east you go. So this screenshot right here, or this tab right here, is showing you kind of the dots of homes that are less than 700,000. If I click over to this one here, it is homes priced more than 700,000. So you can kind of see what happens as you get further east. That's where, you know, the most established neighborhoods are in Fort Lauderdale, some of the most expensive homes as well. So, hey, real quick, if you are strongly considering moving to Fort Lauderdale, I wanted to let you know that I put together a relocation survival guide that breaks neighborhoods down by budget and lifestyle, and also includes pages on insurance, flood zones, and common mistakes that I see buyers make when they move here. If you want a copy, go to the link in the description. Let's start with the beaches. So the southernmost beach in Fort Lauderdale is the Fort Lauderdale Jetties right here. This waterway right here is where it's called Port Everglades right here, and this is where the cruise ships go in and out of. It's a major cruise ship port. But the Fort Lauderdale Jetties is the beach right here, so you can sit on that beach and watch the cruise ships go by. As you go further north, you get up to Las Olas Beach. If you haven't heard of Las Olas, we'll talk about that here in just a second, but it is one of the main strips here in town for shopping and dining. If you go even further north along the beach, this is A1A Boulevard, by the way, you get to Central Beach, Hugh Taylor Birch State Park, and eventually you get up into the Lauderdale by the Sea area, which is really where Fort Lauderdale stops. Matter of fact, it goes a little bit further north here, but as far as Fort Lauderdale Beach, you're basically talking Lauderdale by the Sea and south to the jetties. So that's the beaches. The most populated part of the beach, the most busy and touristy part of the beach, is definitely Las Olas Beach right here, and that is because it is connected to Las Olas Boulevard. You've probably heard about it. Like I said, it's the main shopping and dining district in Fort Lauderdale, and it runs from the beach right here through the Las Olas Isle neighborhoods all the way up to US 1 right here. And if we zoom in a little bit more, this is going to be your main strip for a lot of the things that you're going to be doing if you're going out. You know, nightlife, dinners, shoppings. They have a lot of like pop-up markets and everything on Las Olas Boulevard, and actually down here towards the beach as well. Really, really cool for like an outdoor active lifestyle. You've got the Riverwalk as well right here. If you've never visited that, or if you do plan to visit Fort Lauderdale, definitely check out the Riverwalk as well. It goes from Huizenga Park, or actually, sorry, let me scoot over a little bit more west. It goes from Esplanade Park up the river all the way to about this point right here. I'll zoom in on Huizenga Park really quick. They just redid it, and it's very, very nice. Check that out if you have a chance. Let's zoom back out. You know, I did mention Los Olas Boulevard, but this whole area right here is downtown Fort Lauderdale. And then just north of Broward Boulevard, right here, we have Flagler Village. This is kind of becoming a second downtown, if you will. I believe they're going to kind of call the area Fat Village. But yes, this general area right here and sliding into Flagler is the major hub, the center point of Fort Lauderdale. The next thing I want to show you is just where the airport is. So if we go south just a little bit, let's zoom out. This is the airport, and I live right here in the Flagler Village area, and it only takes me like 10 or 11 minutes to get to the airport. So just for time purposes, from around right here to the airport is only like a 10, 15-minute drive if the traffic is doing, you know, if it's a little crazy. So really, you're in close proximity to just about everything with a lot of these east of 95 Fort Lauderdale neighborhoods. Because if you do that same kind of distance to the beach, you're also about 15 minutes to the beach in just about every area that you would want to go, depending on what beach you're going to and what specific neighborhood you're in. The last thing that I'm going to leave you with here is just a few popular parks. Like I said, this is a little bit more beginner level of an orientation to Fort Lauderdale. This main park is in the Victoria Park neighborhood. It's called Holiday Park. It has basketball courts, tennis courts, pickleball. I believe there's even, what is it called? It's hockey. It's like field hockey, I believe. Field hockey rink. The Baptist Health Iceplex is there. This is where the Florida Panthers practice. That's our ice hockey team here. Another popular park is Hugh Taylor Birch State Park. This is it's a big, huge green space. You can get into some water sports here, paddleboarding, things like that. Do a bike ride, do some tours. They have a trolley in there as well. And then another really popular one that I actually go to quite a bit to play pickleball is Georgia English Park here as well. So that is a general overview of Fort Lauderdale. Like I said, I-95 is the major spine. Most people want to be east of I-95. You zoom in, here's the main strip of town, Los Olas Boulevard. This is where everybody hangs out. You're pretty close to the airport right here, and that is that. I hope this was valuable. I do plan to make more in-depth videos, like this map tour, you know, map tour style videos just like this one in the future that go into a little bit more depth on neighborhoods and price points and things like that. So if you do have anything in particular that you want to know about Fort Lauderdale, drop a comment down below this video, and I'll see you in the next one.